Hey, if you're a tenant in LA, here are a few things that you should know about security deposits. First, under state law, as of July 1st, 2024, a landlord can only charge up to 1 month's rent for a security deposit unless certain exceptions apply. Second, a landlord can only use a security deposit for certain things after a tenant moves out, and those things include paying off any unpaid rent, cleaning the unit so that it's in a condition similar to what it was in before the tenant moved in, and repairing damage caused by the tenant or their guests. And that excludes normal wear and tear. So a landlord can't say, for example, repair the roof unless they can show that the roof was damaged by the tenant or their guests. Third, a landlord has 21 days after a tenant vacates to provide them with either the whole security deposit or an accounting of the deposit plus whatever was left over. And if any of the deductions from the deposit are worth more than $125, a landlord has to include a receipt or an invoice showing what that amount was spent on. Fourth, if a landlord does not provide the tenant with an accounting of the deposit or the deposit itself within 21 days, or if the tenant disputes any of the charges that were made in the accounting because they were improper, then the tenant can send the landlord a demand letter, basically demanding either what they're owed out of the deposit or the full deposit back. And if the landlord does not cooperate, then the tenant can sue them in small claims court. And if the court finds that the landlord was acting in bad faith and withholding any amount of the deposit, then the court could award damages not just in the actual amount that the tenant was owed, but in also twice the total amount of the deposit on top of that. The California court website actually has a really handy security deposit demand letter generator that is actually a great tool if you are dealing with this. You just put your information in and it will generate a letter that you can send to your landlord demanding the security deposit back. Highly recommend checking it out if you're going through this. The link to it is right up here. So that's some important information to know about security deposits. I hope this was helpful.